So how you doing?
I'm okay, apart from, dying.
We're all dying slowly. When you really
You're
get down to
dying.
it.
You're dying.
So are you.
Mm.
We're all dying on the... But some of
You're
us are
dying
dead on the
faster.
inside.
Some of us are dead today, Henry Kissinger.
It's true.
Vault dropping. Fucking the guy from Fairy Tale New York, he's dead. In both of those cases, I'm like, man, I thought that both of them were already dead.
You would think he'd be dead, considering he was 100 years old. But no, he wasn't already dead.
Only the good die young, Dan.
You're
Only the
right.
good die young.
No, you're right. You're right. Only the good die young.
It is kind of funny, though, in the wake of Kissinger's death, a bunch of articles came out that basically explain his career, and it's like, yeah, I see now why Tom Lehrer did say that when he got given the Nobel Peace Prize, political satire died.
Honestly, yeah, like... It's literally so comical. Like, where do you go from that? Like,
But, hey, I negotiated peace by bombing the fuck out of Cambodia, so perhaps the most ruthless dictator of all time could take over a country. But, it's almost as laughable as when everyone's favourite Prime Minister Tony Blair bombed the fuck out of Iraq, and it's like, you know what, guys, I'm done being a Prime Minister.
hello, other Dan, who just joined the chat.
We need to go.
What a thing to come into!
Oh, no one's gonna be upset for making fun of 100 years.
Oh yeah, no, it's just really funny. Just the visual of talking about this piece of shit while the little cartoon monkeys for children are jumping around.
To be fair, this is the one time we might be playing a game where we actually might talk about the game, because I love this game.
This is straight up like one of my favorite video games, period.
Even though you're playing the objectively inferior version.
He's mad that I'm not playing the PAL version that has a different dub.
Yeah.
Because it has a smarmy Spectre rather than the kind of like, yeah.
Whiny. We have a whiny Spectre.
It's true. We
have a cool guy Spectre. Also, I will still die on the hill that Buzz is a way cooler name for your rival than Jake.
Okay, but our Natalie is better.
Spike, did the professor finish the time station yet?
I think you mean Katie, actually?
No, Natalie is better. Sorry.
I'll
give you Buzz, but I won't give you Natalie.
I don't know who this Natalie is, but I do know there's a Katie. No, you think that's confusing? Wait until we do 2 and 3, where I'm like, hey, look, it's Kikaru. Wait, that's not his name. He was Spike.
I like how I wasn't even thinking about the idea of doing 2 and 3 after this, and you're right away just like, wait until we do 2 and 3.
Oh, we're definitely doing 2 or 2 and 3.
I mean, I do love those games as well.
We're at least doing 2, because we've got to do the Freaky Monkey 5.
You know, actually, too, getting this PS3 set up, it made me think of, considering I'm not really using the PS3 as a PS3 anymore at all, I honestly should just at some point swap it out and just buy an old second-hand 60 gig that can run both.
Yeah, possibly.
Because, I mean, that would be an easy way to just play HD PS2 games. They also load insanely fast, because I had a 60 at one point. You couldn't get used to the control scheme. It does take getting used to, considering... I don't think it's a bad control scheme at all. It was basically, this game was built to get people used to the idea of using analog sticks.
In a lot of ways, you could argue it's a completely innovative control scheme.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's a really good control scheme. One thing it takes getting used to is, of course, how the camera works, because the camera doesn't work like what we're used to today, where you use one of the analog sticks to move it around. Where you kind of gotta toggle it as you move. You'll know as I play when you hear the noise repeatedly.
Spike, can you hear me?
Actually, that's a question. Are we gonna full complete this game, or are we gonna half complete?
Oh, I'm gonna do the whole thing. I want to fight the final boss.
Okay.
I have never done a playthrough of Ape Escape that didn't 100% it. Like, I won't get all the Spectre coins, but I'll get all the apes.
Spectre sent the apes
I get that. Other Dan.
His plans for world domination.
Oh yeah, it can be. Like
call him Dan and you fuckface. Problem solved.
I like how you see Hyland and you're like, I'm going to ignore that.
Yeah. That's not what my eyes see.
I've been downgraded to fuckface.
I mean, some might argue that's better than what I normally call you.
You could call me Dumblet.
There isn't time for any monkey business.
Right, that's dumb. Why would I call you that? That's
It's in the name, Dumb.
ridiculous.
It's in the name,
That's
Dumblet.
stupid.
Dumb.
Yeah, this is why you're called fuckface. Fuckface.
Whatever, I'm gonna catch 3 monkeys. Fuck off.
Good luck.
You know, I still think it's funny that this AI girl is literally only in this game and never shows up again.
I think it's funny that she's like one of the more popular characters.
And she's only... I think maybe she's in, what game is it? I have, the party game. She might be in, hold on, I'm literally grabbing it right now, because I have them right here. Pimped and Primed. Pimped and Primed. I know how to read, I swear.
Could have been called Chipped and Primed.
It's true. But, yeah, honestly, like, I do like control of this game. I could have snuck up on him, but I'm being a doofus.
I mean, let's be honest. I think the main thing we talk about this game, if we're talking positives, the soundtrack.
Oh, the soundtrack is amazing. This,
Every
objectively
fucking
has
YouTuber
the...
on the planet
Use,
has used an Ape Escape song at some point in their career.
what, even if they don't know what the game is.
Yeah. So, like, this, hey, this other YouTuber has used this really catchy song. I'm shoving that shit in my video.
Yeah. Like, there are people who have never played this game. Ape Escape 2, 1 specifically. Ape Escape 2 has a good soundtrack, and so does 3, but I don't think they're nearly as good as this one. And I think those are also
Ape
good
Escape
games,
2 has a
but...
lot going for it.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
it does.
yes. I think it's got... Number one, like, I think the actual kind of, as weird as it is to say, the plot is weaker in 2 by a lot. Yay. But yeah, the plot is weaker in 2, which is weird to say in a game about catching monkeys. But like, and 2 does not have a nearly a good soundtrack.
Its soundtrack is very... It's okay. I don't care for it as much. 3 has the better soundtrack, but I think 2 has the better gameplay.
It's not like, not getting like the fucking castle theme in this. That's an amazing track.
All of the tracks are so fucking good.
I literally linked someone the credits theme, and they're like, I've never played this game today. I linked it to him today because I was getting hyped for this. I'm like, I've never played this game, but why do I know this track?
But, and by the way, the reason for this playthrough is literally twofold. One, I've been having that itch lately to revisit this game, because, like I said, it's one of my very favorite games. It's actually the first game I 100%ed. And I'm talking about like getting all the Spectre coins and everything. And I don't really 100% too many games. The other reason is a friend of mine who is into collectathon games has never played this. They do not like Banjo-Kazooie, and I was like, okay, but you should play this game. So they hadn't played it before. They're not going to be able to see it live because they're at work, but I'm going to send them the VOD. So it was kind of like, you know what, fuck it. I want to show them the game. I want to replay it.
Look what I found.
It's a childhood favorite of mine. I bought this for my birthday with birthday money at a fucking KB Toys. For those of you who are too young to know what the fuck a KB Toys is, think Toys R Us but cheap.
Try it out in the training.
And if you don't know what a Toys R Us is,
Think Amazon, but like physically, it's a shop.
And it's just toys and video games.
People
People
like buy anything else on Amazon.
You got more selected with 100%? Because of time. That makes sense. Honest to God, there are very few games, even when I was like a kid and a teenager, that I would 100%. I am close to 100%ing Mario Wonder, though. I fucking love that game. Oh, speaking of games, too, I did finish RoboCop Rogue City. It's really good.
I do want to get it, but I was, Christmas and such. So
Yeah.
I'm holding off a little bit.
I've been selling some, like, older crap of mine that I don't want, both to make room and also for extra money. And, because of that, like, I was able to pick up some stuff for myself. And my Christmas shopping is pretty much done. I just have a couple of things to pick up, because I try to get it done early, because I just do not like dealing with packs of holiday hyenas. I think that's the best way to describe it.
But fuckface, you're already dealing with them because that's where you work.
It's true, I do work retail.
Have a fun Christmas.
I always do. Click, click.
Take your life in your hands.
For the Twitter mods, this is a gag. Do not take this seriously.
I don't know what this Twitter is, but it sure doesn't sound as hip or
Twitch.
cool as X.
X.
Well, it's okay, because fuck you, we don't want your advertising money, but also, please come back. There's only so much Blood Diamond money can do for you.
Come back, Raid Shadow Legends. Never sponsored me.
And I almost wish we were sponsored, just so that basically everything I say would have to be cut out of the video. Because I would refuse, like outright refuse to read a script. And I would spend the entire video shitting on whatever sponsor you had.
And it would just be the end of sponsorship.
Yeah, you do your whole sponsorship, like, oh yeah, here's NordVPN. I'm like, hey, you know what's dog shit trash?
NordVPN. You see, that's the key. I then mute your audio so I can do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're just sat talking to yourself like a crazy person.
Isn't that really what streaming is when you're by yourself?
Yeah.
Isn't that really all it is?
I mean, my goal is that we get sponsored by HelloFresh, so I can be like, yeah, I too enjoy using monkeys as slave labor. Oh, did you not know about that? They use monkeys to monkeys to harvest part of their ingredients.
Why? I don't know how to explain it, but somehow I'm not shocked anymore by this kind of crap. I'm just
Why should you be shocked?
I'm just like, yeah, that sounds right.
Why should you be shocked by anything that happens these days?
Whatever fucked up thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Ape Escape, great game.
Oh yeah, amazing. I tried to hit the side of the wall with the net, that's why I just got stunned for a second there.
What are your favorite gadgets in this game?
I love the RC car. The hula hoop in this one I don't love. The hula hoop in 2 is a fucking OP piece of shit, and I love it in 2. I do like the boxing glove, not because it's particularly good, but because it's funny.
I like the sound it makes when you punch something.
But I think probably my absolute favorite, if I was to really think about it, is the Sky Flyer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, because they don't make official PS3 controllers anymore, I had to, like, buy a secondhand... I had to buy, like, a knockoff one.
Oh, you're on the backup controller then, are we?
It's actually working pretty good. I tested it out before, like, the other day to make sure it works, and, like, it's good. The only downside of the damn thing is it doesn't shut off properly, so it'll try to turn the system back on when I turn off the system. So what I have to do is turn off the controller, then manually shut off the system myself.
Oof.
You know, like a caveman.
Peasant.
But I mean, the way I have it set up right now is the PS3 is actually like right there, like it's right, like I can touch it right now where I'm sitting. Because with my new desk space, I was able to just put it there in that empty spot. Which I kind of needed because I have so much crap where my stuff is usually set up. So I kind of had to do that every hit like an idiot.
Oh, well, that's not mine. I just agree with them.
They're correct, so why wouldn't you?
I don't know, Petty Spike.
I guess.
Speaking of Petty Spike...
You mean Petty Spike.
I get it. Yeah.
How's it going, Sabo? We're in the middle of Ape Escape. Yeah.
Did you escape Carolina Man?
Yeah, we were
I
asking.
said, did you escape him? Oh, no.
I escaped, and I made it back, and I survived getting used to New Jersey drivers again.
I just like getting the fucking play-by-play on you. Alright, I am halfway there.
Yeah, well,
Maybe I'll die.
yeah, pretty much. I'm stuck in a hotel room. What else am I gonna do? I'll tell everybody I'm halfway here. Maybe I won't make it.
Maybe I'll kill Henry Kissinger on the way there. Who knows?
You know, as a dumb aside, this part of the game, when I was pretty young, actually intimidated me. Like, seeing, like, the T-Rex come up and everything, that, like, spooked me as a kid.
Yeah, I can get that.
Maybe I'll get a speeding ticket because I'm not used to having a car that can actually speed.
Oh yeah, you fucking speed. You became speed.
I became so speed. I got pulled over and the officer was like, "You're going 93 miles per hour in a 70 mile per hour zone." I was like, I could have been going that fast. I was going so smooth. I was like, oh right, yes, this is a new car. I never had to worry about them. I was hoping that would be a decent excuse.
And then half your leg to get a motorcycle.
I haven't become a motorcycle yet, but you know.
You have become speed, though.
No, he gave me like the lowest level speeding ticket because of my excuse of falling apart if you go over 70, not going 93 and really smooth, so smooth I didn't even notice it was going that fast.
We can try that.
He was like, that's dumb, but I'll just give you a regular speeding ticket instead of reckless driving. He's like, you could go to the court in Virginia and try to justify yourself to the judge, and I was like, I don't think that's gonna work. It's probably not. Also, I don't want to travel all the way back down to Virginia just for Jersey.
Actually, I saw something that, like, spooked me today. I saw a cop car that was not only unmarked, but it was, like, reddish purple. Like, it did not look like a standard cop car at all in make or model either, and I was like, what the fuck?
I'm sending you
they're getting very good at that.
Try it out in the training room. Without
And I'm like 90% sure that's actually against the law for them to do that unmarked.
Well, good luck and be careful.
I don't think so, no. Because the whole point of unmarked is being unmarked. People only know because you can see the communication equipment.
I only knew because it was a traffic, like, it was road work, and they were, like, on a thing to stop traffic from going where they shouldn't go. Also, I got the monkey radar now.
Right.
Which is incredibly useful when you're trying to 100% the game. Like, when you're playing the game normally, it doesn't matter usually. Not that it doesn't mean I won't use it. But
especially in the later levels where it's like, oh yeah, you don't even need to catch any monkeys, you just need to find the boss.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
You still catch monkeys, but you know.
I mean, yeah, if you see them, you're gonna fucking go grab them.
You're now on your way to the mysterious time of the jungle ruins. You must
but yeah, this game's a fucking classic, and it's a shame Sony doesn't make video games anymore.
They make cinematic experiences or something. I don't know.
I don't fucking know. Sad dad. I'm dealing with I'm having a midlife crisis, so I developed this game.
Oh, speaking of midlife crises and Sony things, so the new Ultimate Spider-Man came out, the comic, and has immediately eclipsed Amazing Spider-Man, so...
Should we pretend to be surprised?
I'm not surprised, it's just funny.
I can pretend to be surprised if you want. Oh my god, I didn't see that one coming.
Be surprised.
How could the sales be better? They don't even have Paul.
Sorry, there's no Paul.
Paul is the glue that holds Spider-Man together.
Hello, Professor. Remember me?
It's okay, I'm sure Dan's not really seething mad at this point. Too busy creating his own Spider-Boy, OC, do not steal.
You know what the fucked up thing is? I can't even look at Doc Ock anymore without thinking of that fucker.
What's going on here? What are you
Can't think of that.
Spectre, oh yes.
Look, don't make fun of a guy for his husband though, okay?
What?
No, that's his that's his self-insert at this point.
But how?
Yes, that's right.
One thing could be two things.
He wants to make out with himself.
This peak point helmet.
I mean...
Do you think he looks in the mirror and like kisses it in the morning?
Now, I plan to rule the world. And
I mean, I think he tries to, but then I think he vomits when he looks in the mirror and sees what he is.
No, he loves what he is.
No, but I think even he's like so self-obsessed, but then even he's like, oh, I'm so fucking ugly, but
However,
Well, if I
this
put a
skill
paper
in
bag over
PvP
my own
has
head.
never been tested and may be
Do
very
you
dangerous
think
to
it's like the
use.
amazing Bagman bag?
I advise, no, I insist that you bring the peak point helmet.
Or is it the
back.
superior Bagman bag?
Bring it back.
You know what? Yeah, of course it's the superior bag
Are
now.
you kidding? I'm sorry, Professor, but it's too
Oh,
late.
I'm so much
I've
more
already made duplicate helmets for
Peter.
my new army of apes.
Mwah.
There's no stopping us now. The future
I mean, I'm
is
wrong, though.
mine. Don't try and trick me into giving this helmet back, Professor.
If you're in the audience,
I'm
Dan Slap,
smarter
hi.
than you. I even figured out how to use the time
He might be. He definitely
I've already
Googles
sent my
himself.
army
It's
back in
true.
time to rewrite history. No longer
But when
will
was the
you
last
be the
time that,
dominant
like,
species.
he's
I
paid
will
attention to
rule this
my
world.
bullshit?
Don't bother
You know,
trying
after he
to
blocked
stop
me.
How would you know? He blocked you.
It's true, he could be ranting about me as we speak.
You have zero idea if he's paying attention.
He's like, he could be like screaming like, "That fucker has cameras set up in my house! How the fuck would he know?"
He doesn't scare me.
Does he
I got
know?
a surprise for him.
Jake!
So I choose to believe that he 100% is like following our every move, watching and waiting for the time when we slip up. But little does he know, that's our secret. We're always slipping up.
I slipped up like 7 times doing this fucking playthrough so far.
Do you realize what you're saying?
We're only like maybe
You know
like
who you're
20
talking
minutes
to.
or less into
Snap
the
out
fucking
of it.
stream.
Pull yourself together. Can you hear me?
It's no use. Somehow
You know,
he's been
honestly,
brainwashed
obviously
and
with it being
controlled by
HDTV, you can see some of the flaws in the models. I do still think this game
You're
looks
very
good, and I think it's charming.
The boy you see here isn't the
Definitely
same.
has like because of the cartoony, because of the anime-esque art style
I'm in control.
and design
no one-
aesthetics.
no
I think
one
it
can stop
ages
me,
a hell of a lot better
especially
than.
not you.
Is it bad? The first thing I
Well,
think of is like
I'm sure we'll
PS1
be
Harry
fighting
Potter
again soon.
faces.
Yeah. I mean, what was it like? Mega Man Legends? It looks fucking good still, especially 2. 2, honestly, I've shown it to people and they thought it was a PS2 game.
It kind of goes to show you that like consistent design consistent aesthetics and more stylized art style can go a long way to making things still look good.
Yeah. Oh god, the bees.
Bees.
Dr. Bees! Oh god. I wasn't paying attention. I got shot by a plant.
You got I was hoping you got stung.
No. Maybe next time. Oh, that time I got stung. I didn't see that.
What is like your favorite level of this game?
That's a hard one, actually. Cause like, there's the TV station level. Love that one. I love the Wall of China level. I love the going inside the dinosaur level.
Dexter's Island.
Yeah. There's so many good levels. Like, honestly, picking one is hard. That's a really... I don't know. Well, how about when this playthrough, I'll try to decide.
I always have a soft spot for the castle. Tricky
Oh, the
Castle, I think
castle
it's
is
called. But like, also, it's just kind of got everything. Like, amazing level theme. You know, probably one of the better bosses.
Well, there's only like 3 bosses in this entire game. Like 3 or 4.
Depends on if we're counting like the mini bosses in Spectreland.
Ah, yeah, true. Like, mostly, up until the castle, you don't really deal with any bosses, if I recall.
No, there are no bosses until the castle, and then after the castle you get it's almost like Spider-Man PS4 style timing.
Yeah, it's
Pacing, sorry. Because its castle is meant. That's weird because the castle always feels like it's the start of the 3rd act. Well, maybe it should actually be considered more like the halfway point, considering backtracking and those last 3 levels are like super long.
You know, I fucked up. Like, usually I sneak up on this fucking thing. I do not have the slingshot for this. I am not gonna fuck with him right now. I'll come back for you since I fucked up on sneaking up on you. See you later, fucker.
Wait, was this what? Oh, is this a UFO one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can actually beat them without the slingshot.
I think if you're lucky and it gets low enough, you can smack it with the stun club, but it doesn't always go that low. So yeah, I'm not gonna fuck with him, because I fucked up, because I usually can sneak up on him, but I wasn't paying attention because I'm too busy yapping my fucking mouth. And fucked that up, so yeah, I'll just come back when I do that. I'll just do him on the replay. But yeah, I have never, whether it be 2, 3, or any of the replays, I've never not fought all the monkeys in the end. Because I want to fight the final boss, I want to see the last cutscene. And it's fun to do, unlike, say, like Crash Bandicoot, where it's a fucking nightmare.
Well, I think it's also a benefit that every monkey is, like, to a certain extent, every
Oh
monkey
yeah,
is
also just
also
happy
unique.
shit the hell out of me as a kid.
Like, you know, it's more common in 2 or 3 where you'll just like find monkeys doing completely random bullshit. And to an extent, like, and obviously, as I said, it's a lot more prevalent in those games because they have better models and overall like unique animations and settings.
Yeah.
But
They also had like bigger budgets because like Sony used to put a lot of money into these games and they stopped making them.
I'm not even sure why.
They sold
I
well.
guess,
That's the thing.
I guess it's just a general downfall of the platformer, but
Sony right now in general is like moving just towards those cinematic games. Like that's all they want to fucking make them for.
they do. I think part of the problem is that they do other stuff because there is quite a large amount of like indie side stuff. But of course, the problem with doing like with indie stuff is it's going to always be like the homegrown project. It's very rare for like a smaller indie dev who's going to want to do like or pay for the license of Ape Escape, even though that's got to be dirt cheap.
What I would love is just a spiritual successor. Like I would love a spiritual successor. Like they just like be like, oh, it's squirrels. Capture the squirrels. This crazy squirrel with mind control device. He's got a gun.
What you're saying is you want like say the original creative director to make a Kickstarter.
That's always a question mark if it works or not. So
I mean, it's
I just
only
had,
ever
like, a
worked like
successor
once,
somebody.
so
It's worked like was
I
it
think-
like Bloodstained?
what? One?
Is there a second one?
No,
I just know of Bloodstained.
because some people like ukulele.
Some people also enjoy hurting themselves with large mallets. You know, actually, I thought about it. So I played the second ukulele game, which is basically just Donkey Kong Country. And while it's better than Donkey Kong Country because the hitboxes work, it highlights my problem with Donkey Kong Country, and that's the fact that the art and design of it is just kind of boring. So I just kind of played it for a bit, got bored, and put it down. I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't care for it. It's just kind of dull. Eh.
Fair enough.
So like, if you made Donkey Kong Country work, I'd probably still be like, yeah, okay, it works, but it's dull. Like if it didn't have shitty hitboxes. I still say the reason why everyone likes Donkey Kong Country 2 the best is because it's the only one with like 2 small monkeys rather than 1 big monkey. The hitboxes are still bad, but one of them isn't the size of a planet anymore. And the reason why they hate 3 so much is because it's like back to 1 having the size of a planet again. It's like that fucking comedy bit with the person playing What's New Pussycat like 100 times. But he has that one track of It's Not Unusual. And then it goes back to What's New Pussycat, and you know, they lose their goddamn mind. I feel like it's the same thing.
What is New Pussycat?
Good question, I don't know.
It never really answers it.
No. You know, we never figure out too, who put the bop in the bop shabop?
You don't want to know.
I don't? But they
No,
do.
you probably don't. I don't know.
They canceled.
You don't want to know. Someone's probably been cancelled.
Hanukkah's canceled.
Like 3 people died today, so I was waiting for someone to get disgraced.
I like that Discord died for like a second there and went boom. At least on my end.
I guess we'll never know. So how's your week been, Saber, apart from, speeding? Oh no, he's dead.
Was he the one that died?
Oh, he is muted, to be fair. Okay, I thought he was just being unusually quiet. Now it's just the usual levels of quiet.
Captured by monkeys.
I mean, certainly possible.
They didn't enjoy us capturing them, so they captured Sabo.
You wanted your spiritual successor, Dan. Now
The
it's
squirrels have
human.
attacked!
Now it's human escape.
Bum, 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 bum. Just it's Ape Escape, but instead you play the squirrel capturing humans.
Or monkey, but
Or a monkey, yeah. Capture all those
You know what?
humans.
Actually, genius idea. Release Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3.
They should. They won't be able to because of Konami, though.
Oh no, Konami seems willing to release any old thing.
Any old bad thing. Oh wait,
Yeah.
also Metal Gear, the entirety of it. They are re-releasing the entirety of Metal Gear slowly. Which some people were mad about. They're like, what do you mean it's just a remaster? I wanted more. Listen, I don't like Konami. Konami is the worst, but the advertisers just re-release. What do you want? What do you want?
Like I said, there's a very real possibility we might be getting Metal Gear Rising or remaster too, so...
I'd be fine with that. I like Rising a lot. I know a friend who got bored, who gets to like the third stage, get bored, and just turn it off though.
Rising, that's like halfway through the game!
Yeah. I think they probably get to the part where you can't attack, and it's probably where they tap out, I guess, but I don't know.
Well, then they're literally about to get to the best part.
I know.
Your friend's a coward.
Don't look at me!
I'm looking at you, fuckface.
Oh. Listen, I don't know if Dan's still here, so you might be able to call me Dan again.
But I like calling you fuckface.
Fuckface Unstoppable.
I don't know about that.
Fuckface Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Fuckface Unstoppable!
Fuckface Ron. You might be more fuckface Ron stoppable.
Run, stop!
He too had magical monkey power or something, so...
We probably did in an episode. There was a lot of episodes where weird shit happened. That show was strange, but it
with
was
the
fun.
phrase mystical monkey power coming up, so...
True. Honestly, I kind of forgot this game is not that long, actually.
I mean, you do technically have to play it for it twice.
Right.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, there's these monkeys that'll attack you. Oh, this fucker. Which one before he jumps over there? Yes, got him! You have no idea. No, you have absolutely every idea why I don't feel like him running around.
Dan is still here. I still have to call you fuckface.
Ah, shit!
Yes! Thanks, Dan. You have officially allowed me to unperson Dan.
I was like, he might not be here. I could be dead again! No.
No.
But yeah, I did not want to catch that monkey, like, chase him around this whole thing. I remember having to do that before as a kid. It is a fucking nightmare.
I don't care. I don't know you. I know him. Therefore, it's much more polite to insult him. These are the rules.
Go rules, spelled with a D.
I don't make the rules, but I do enjoy enforcing them.
Oh wait, oh damn, it didn't double jump.
Yeah, I would love it. Even if they just actually just re-release them on release 2 and 3 officially on like I know you can play 2 if you do the whole subscribe to PlayStation Plus Premium or whatever tier you have to be.
Oh, play 2 and 4. Or 5, maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But just like fully re-release all 3 games, because, you know,
Why not?
they must still have all the source codes.
They do
and everything.
not.
I mean,
I
Ape
doubt
Escape 1. Ape Escape 1 is on my PSN.
Yeah, but that's also an emulated copy. So it's the ISO file being played on an emulator.
Well, then they should just emulate the other 2 games.
They could. They won't.
I want to battle the freaking Monkey 5 again. Even if it does have a terrible Spectre.
Who has a terrible voice actor?
I just said even if it does have a terrible Spectre. Like, Spectre peaks in this game.
Specifically
say
for
that
him
much.
for the PAL version.
Yeah, I mean, arguably, I would say even NTSC, I mean, just in general, because, like, in this game, he's treated like a serious threat. You know, he's smart, he's cool, he's got all the gadgets, he's got the plans, and then in every other game, it's just some... He's just doing some cartoon bullshit, man.
I swear to God, I hit the damn button. And he just like, nah.
Like in 2, where his plan is, I'm gonna shoot the planet with a laser that'll make people lazy.
No, that was, oh wait, it was in both, oh wait, no, it was, he does the lazy bit in both 2 and 3. But
No,
3 also is split the planet in 2 as well.
In 3, he hypnotizes the Professor, Spike, and Hikaru from 2. Hence why we need to have Aki and the new people.
I like that.
And then his plan is to karate chop the planet in half, yes.
Hello, kitty cat. My cat's here. I was distracted by cat.
All been there.
Cat's just like, now, me!
Well, I do appreciate that Ape Escape 3 ends with basically a mech fight.
Yeah. There's like 2 or 3 mech fights in that game.
Yeah, because you fight... Oh, I don't even remember his fucking... Afro guy.
Doctor... I'm forgetting to.
Yeah. But everyone just calls him Afro guy.
I mean,
I think
they
when he
gave
has-
jiggle physics to that fucking afro.
I think when he's like has this tragic sacrifice, the main dude character in 3 is even like, no, Mr. Afro. Yeah, fuck, I can't remember his name. It'll just be Mr. Afro forever now.
Afro circus.
Oh, there's a reference I've not heard in 1,000 years.
I see you, kitty cat. Yes,
Chris Tucker before he got slapped.
I'm being. The monkeys have enlisted my cat.
Piss off, cat.
But she's so cute.
That fault for her lies down.
But she's
Mean fat
adorable.
face.
Ah, damn it. Ugh! The monkey got away. It was glad you got to be like this right now. Cats.
Why you do this? Ugh. Ugh. Is your cat still getting you?
No, I'm trying to hide now
No.
so I can slowly creep up on the monkey. He's on alert, so I gotta wait a minute. So for the audience, when their helmets blink like that, that means they're looking around for you. The blue is they don't know where you are exactly. Yellow is caution.
Red means they're onto you.
The alert. Yes, kitty, I see
Thank
you.
God. Thank goodness it's not a monkey with an Uzi.
The fact that I'm this close and that she's getting more attentive. I'm convinced you are aligned with the monkeys, aren't you? Claw was stuck in my pants. I think my cat's working at the monkey's head.
I don't believe it. Oh, but yeah, I do want to get that RoboCop game.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It takes place between 2 and 3.
Well, I don't think they were really gonna go into 3, did it? Like, there are people out there who defend 2. There's no one who defends 3. I am not one of those people who defends 2, by the way.
Fair enough.
Oh no, it's fine, but it's like, it's just worse.
I mean, yeah,
worse than 1 by a lot.
The original RoboCop.
It doesn't add anything.
The original RoboCop is the best RoboCop. Now we need to think of what the worst RoboCop is. Is it 3, the cartoon, or the remake?
It's 3.
Oh, you think it's worse than the remake even?
Yeah, I mean, I
Fair
think
enough.
the remake isn't bad. It's just aggressively mid. Fuck's sake. Look, I don't know. You can. I guess I shouldn't make this point while he's gone.
Alright. The saboteur has decided to leave.
But like, you could make the argue that like, oh, 3 is funny because it's bad. I think it's a silly argument, but it's an argument people can make. But like, Reboot Cop isn't bad. It's just aggressively. It's just the only memorable part about it is how utterly forgettable it is.
You wanna know why I don't like it more? It's
Okay.
It's just. It's not only is it just not only is it not a good remake of a really good movie, it doesn't understand the thing it's remaking at all.
Yeah, I don't think it's a case of not understanding. It's a case of it exists in a world where they don't want to do, where they can't, or they feel like they can't do that because that would be too silly.
It's like so. It's plain up. It's the RoboCop as made by OCP. You know what I mean? The RoboCop film.
Yeah.
Like it's so like corporate down.
The funny thing is, if they'd have actually led into that, it would have been a lot better. But they didn't.
That would be clever, and they'd have to understand
almost
RoboCop.
They accidentally almost stumbled into a great idea.
But the thing
they
is, it can't be that because it's not self-aware. It's not RoboCop in any means at all.
RoboCop 3 is.
At least it's not an inferior version to a good film. It's just a bad film on its own.
Oh no, man! I can't think of anything reviewable about 3, and I struggle to think of anything reviewable about Reboot Cop. But at least I would say if gun to my head, if I had to choose between one of them, I'm still picking Reboot Cop.
I'm picking 3. Sabo's not here to chime in, so we can't hear Sabo's thoughts on it if Sabo's even watched it.
Sabo's not seen RoboCop.
Oh.
He definitely
Useless!
has.
He's useless to us.
Problem is, RoboCop should have just never been a franchise.
No, it should not. I agree. Like, I enjoy the other shit, yeah, but should it be a franchise? No. Not really.
Well, the problem is that then it almost inevitably has to become the very thing it's mocking in 1.
Yeah.
The whole point it was about, like, making fun of the hyper-consumerism of 80s America, which, you know, looking back on, you're like, man,
That's quaint.
why is that real life now?
It really is. I can't remember the strategy for fighting this thing. The tiki torch.
Let me check the stream.
Oh wait, I can stand.
Oh, I think you just hit it.
Well, I know that, but just... You see, that's the problem I'm having. I keep jumping into one of the fire. I'm trying to remember how to do this. The camera isn't mounted in this section.
Jump on the platform, hit the Like jump onto the like
I'm just gonna keep
central pillar.
running and hitting.
Yeah.
It looks like I can stand here and not get hit. So. Oh, there's no more health here. What the fuck? It didn't respawn after I died.
No more cookies for you.
Oh, hold on. I just hit it from here. That was a lot much easier than I made it out to be. I'm fucking stupid. It's been a while.
Well, at least it's not going through the whole game not knowing you had health items.
God, yeah. Something I did with the Transformers game, and I will forever do the walk of shame for that.
We'll take those pot shots for that.
Yeah, and I deserve it, 100%.
You absolutely deserve whatever just happened.
Oh, Save is alive again.
Oh, he's not dead anymore?
You missed our exhilarating RoboCop discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry. One of my neighbors was like, hey, I see you're home.
I see you're home. Can I have $5?
No, just like, yeah, everything was okay. Nobody tried to break in or anything.
I mean, I didn't think anyone had tried to break it until you just said that.
Are you breaking into your own home?
No, I wouldn't need to. I left the key in the back.
And how does it feel to have 4 fridges again?
Oh man, there was only 2 at that last place. There was 2 and there was 3 freezers.
How did you live with yourself?
It was rough. It was rough. Like I brought home food and like I had to actually rearrange stuff to get it into the fridge.
Couldn't just brute force it?
I couldn't just throw it into one of the many empty spaces in my unnecessary fridges.
He actually has a room full of refrigerators.
I think we're joking.
Fools.
You know, if you'd have had a 4th fridge there, you could have put your sister in that.
Yeah, she could have slept in there instead.
Do you use them as guest bedrooms? Fridges?
Well,
Her sister he does. Right. Oh no, what is this?
that's the big freezer.
That's the fridge route.
No, that's the big freezer down there.
Let me see. Is this anything that's funny enough to like show
No.
on stream? Nah, it's not really that funny.
No, but it's big enough that you could fit a body in there.
I mean, saying I could stand in there doesn't really mean much when I'm only 5'6". So it's like,
Why is
that's
it?
that's like 6 foot tall. It's like a 6 foot tall.
What is your first thought about freezers? This is a good freezer. I could easily fit a body in this.
it's over, Freezer! Wait, hold on.
Because that's literally what the first thing my mom said. She's like, it's so big you can fit a body in there.
Why is that
It's like it looked a lot smaller on the picture when we bought it, and then they brought it over here, and yeah,
And that happens.
Is your mother a serial killer?
possibly.
Is she in with the mob? Does she go to that pizza place that you told us we can't go to?
No, I mean not. We used to go there when I was a kid, not so much anymore.
She got excommunicated from the mob.
Yeah, it does sound like your mother might be a mafia hitman.
I don't know about that, but my grandmother almost murdered my grandfather one time.
For any particular reason, or was it just shits and giggles?
Because he was a drunk asshole who kept like leaving for weeks at a time, and then just drunkenly stumbled and expected back to the family. And finally, she changed the locks, so he broke the door down, and then she was like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna have to kill him." And the big butcher knife was about to stab him with it, but someone who was there took the knife away from her, and then basically went to my grandfather and showed him the knife. And, like, he was gonna kill you with this. You better leave and never come back. So he did,
Smart man!
and that's why I never met him.
Honestly, smartest man in your family.
But we,
Wait,
but,
is
but
this
we,
the grandfather who you said might have been in something?
No, that was my other grandfather.
Oh,
The one I actually met and had a relationship with.
Yes!
Because this
I remember
grandfather, this was like 15 years before I was born, so I never met him.
I just remember you telling me the story about how you think your grandfather might have been in something, and I can't
No, he
remember
was
what it is.
involved with the mob. Not as a mafia guy, but like he did gambling stuff for them.
I thought you knew. I thought you knew someone who was like you thought was like a relative of yours was in like a movie or something that we were talking about once.
Oh, that was him. That was the first grandfather. Yes. He was. No, he was. I thought he was Blitzwing.
Oh yeah, that was it. He told
because they had the same name, and he moved out to California after my grandmother almost killed him, and we never saw him again.
Look what I've got, a new gadget.
And his
Check it out.
and that voice actor's career started around that same time. So yeah, that's the
Hold
guy.
back and shoot. I'm sending
Maybe
a new
he was
gadget over to you
Blitzwing.
right now.
And
Your
several
grandfather
other
was
characters.
like,
Without
your
training,
grandfather
it'll be
walked,
too dangerous for you to
rolled back
continue
into the
on
house.
with
Was
this
like,
step.
why don't you build a bridge, wife, and jump off it?
Yeah, he could have come back and get. Yeah, see, he was getting ready to come back and give my grandmother the long bomb. Oh, it's
So you realise where you made the mistake, right?
I'm gonna go to hell for that.
You see, you realise where he made the mistake is because she had the knife, but he didn't have the zone defense.
Ah.
That's right. He didn't have zone defense.
See, listen, I still have flashbacks from that from when I was playing Transformers and didn't know I had healing packs and kept dying to them.
We kept
Zone
saying.
defense.
Yeah, we kept saying he needed more zone defense.
See, we can never recreate that playthrough because if I played it again, I know how to fucking play the game.
Give it a week, give it a year, and I think you'd forget.
Give a year, he'll just
Oh, forget that I have healing items. No, I literally
Yeah.
can never forget because we keep joking about it.
Well, alright, you know what that means? Somebody needs to make a Transformers game with hard-to-use healing items so Dad can play it and not know how to use them and we can make fun of them again.
Well, they aren't making this new one, but I'm pretty sure it's just
Piece of shit.
Hopefully it does
Oh, no.
better than
It's
the
gonna be a generic shoot game that everyone's gonna hype up, you know, like the Cybertron Wars ones.
I thought you were gonna say the Gundam one, which lasted for like 8 months.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
well, I wasn't talking about
great game.
Gundam, but yeah.
No,
yeah,
but they made a Gundam like arena.
it
shooter
lasted
game.
for about a year.
It lasted for about a year, and then now they're killing it.
It's
Yeah,
dead.
when
It's
you're-
as of this stream, it died,
died?
yesterday.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it died either yesterday or the day before.
Oh. And they were like, yeah, nobody played it. I don't know why.
Gundam wasn't. Gundam didn't die. It was murdered.
I don't know. I know we
Very
played
people-
it. They say continuing to like only put in like mobile suits that nobody cares about.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I
Like
don't know.
I remember the seed choice was like it was a weird one. Because I remember even seed fans were like, "What the fuck is this?"
It was dumb. It was the scene.
No, there was another one. There was an actual Gundam they added.
Was there?
Yeah, it was like later on, Hyperion, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's like one of the. That's the one used by the evil Kira and one of the MSVs who never showed up in the anime. So yeah, I'm not really sure why they picked that one.
Like that was the seed. Wing, to be fair, got heavy arms, which was a good one. The Zeta and Camper got announced the same day they announced, oh yeah, we're killing the service. The Camper came out this month.
But they barely used
fucking
any of the
time.
lead Gundams. That's why nobody wanted to play except Barbatos for some reason.
And the
And
Exia.
I think the original.
Exia, the Barbados, that the Unicorn.
Yeah, they're like, why isn't there like?
Well, Unicorn
Wing
wasn't a
Zero
release. He came out like a little bit later. It was one of the actual the fan.
Why isn't there Wing Zero or Freedom or New Gundam or like any of the stuff?
The
that
new
people
Gundam
actually
came
like?
was like the first one they added. Which, you know, that one makes sense. Yeah, new Gundam. It's fucking new Gundam. Why wouldn't you put it in the game? It was weird that the new Gundam was in the game, but not at the start, while Sazabi was at the start. It was weird.
I mean, I can sort of understand because you do want to have like lots of units that have kind of like lots of very unique visuals and everything and
Nope.
aesthetics.
Here I fall.
And if you just have like, or if every member of your like squad was a Gundam,
Oh no, I get that, but
like this is where like original release Overwatch had the great idea where you could tell every character who every character was just off of their like vague outlines because they're all distinct. They're all visually distinctive and unique.
I think it still has that. In all fairness,
It might, but I haven't really looked in since
actually, there was two that would get confused. If someone was wearing a specific Symmetra skin, it could sometimes be mistaken for Diva outside the mech. Like, the silhouette.
You'd have to be a horrible scumbag to play Symmetra.
There were a lot of people that played her.
Yeah, horrible scumbags.
Yeah, there's a lot of horrible scumbags that play Overwatch.
I think last...
I don't know if a lot of people still play her, because I haven't played in ages, and I'm never playing again.
I think I last stopped paying attention to things after... I want to say it was Lifeweaver, and I only really paid attention because he was so infamously bad.
Isn't he the guy with, like, the no shoes? See that one?
I think he didn't have shoes, but you might be thinking Sigma, who was...
Oh yeah, I think it's Sigma Balls.
in the first game, and was game-breakingly broken. And basically, it became the justification for why we had to get rid of a player character, team member in Overwatch 2, allegedly.
Allegedly. I know that's not, it was really just because it's easier to follow in esports. But now, like, and then the meta turned into, like, basically the DPS game, which is really funny.
Well, okay, so the problem was, like, end of Overwatch 1's life cycle, it became a pretty abusive meta of what was, like, double shield.
Oh yeah,
which was like
it was Shield Watch.
Yeah. And the reason why this became, and this would have been fine on its own because metas like had always been like metas and things and popular in Overwatch, but because by that point the team had already committed to Overwatch 2, it meant that Overwatch 1 didn't really get like the balancing or the changes or the new heroes
Let's be real,
added.
it's still Overwatch 1. It hasn't really. It's just they made a massive update and then slapped 2 into the box.
Well, no, but I'm getting to that. So the problem was that because they were spending all of their resources and time doing Overwatch 2, and Overwatch 1 was basically just about got the bare minimum. It meant that to a lot of people it became frustrating because double shield never went away. And that was partially the justification for we got to reduce the number of characters down, which then had like the knock-on effect of making tank a substantially worse role. Like tank is just was just bad in Overwatch 2 when I played.
I think it's yeah, from what I understand, yeah, you're like there would be like a person who's a tank and welcome to not having fun, basically.
Well, because part of the problem is when you have two of a character or two on a roll, then there's some amount of leeway. And tanks were always supposed to be like the big go first, getting the, be like the point characters. But when you had two, it was like you could have one who was the more actual like charge leader and one who was the off tank, pick off people who punish people who would flank or protect healers.
Yeah.
But when you only have one tank, they can't do everything on their own. No matter, even if you did super buff them, most of them, some just became awful, some just became overpowered. But even when you do all of that, it's like, okay, but now healers don't have one less tank to protect them, which means that they then need to be...
the game's balance is fucked and unfun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's time to race. It's time to race
I've been
him.
waiting for this for a long time.
So, did you call yourself a racist?
No, I have to race him, Jake, Buzz, Lightyear.
I thought you said it was time for racism.
Butch.
Time for racism.
Bitch.
Oh, look at that, it's racism o'clock.
I'm going for it.
I'm not a Republican.
That's not fair, it's racism o'clock all the time for Republicans.
Speaking of Republicans,
Oh god.
I was down south.
Yeah, true.
When you enter Virginia, there's this big road going on both sides of this. Just says God bless President Trump.
Probably losing this race.
And then after there, all of a sudden the radio station started talking about avoiding human traffickers and gun shows.
Useful.
Yeah, it's like, hey, go get guns, ammo, and freedom. And this, whatever.
Oh, maybe if they'd have had those on when Smallville was popular. Could have saved that one actor quite a lot of trouble.
Maybe. Yeah, and then just all the talk radios
won.
are suddenly like very pro-Trump and anti like
Yes!
everyone else.
Not really that surprising.
Didn't he just say in his like defense that he never technically swore to uphold the Constitution?
Yes, which he did on camera.
I mean, apart from the fact that he did it.
He's like, I have my fingers crossed. It doesn't count.
It basically, to me, it sounded like the it reminded me of like Homer Simpson going through the red light, going, "I don't see it. It's not illegal."
Man,
I don't think that flies.
What?
It's like I didn't see the light. Okay, well you still ran it.
It counts. No.
it's okay. I'm sure the presidential oath doesn't contain anything about upholding the Constitution or anything.
That would just be silly. Why the hell would it have that?
That would be insane and crazy. So anyway, the presidential oath contains this one line about upholding the Constitution.
Oh, sweet! I got the hula hoop.
This is
Yeah,
the
now we can
secret.
go even
It
faster.
protects you
Gotta
and
go
makes
fast.
you run faster. I'm sending the new gadget over to
The
you.
hoop in 2 is so
Try it out in the
busted
training.
though.
Without training,
Now
it
you
will
can
be
be
too
Sonic.
dangerous for you to continue on to the next level.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Good luck and be careful.
You know, I always appreciate how they have the professor talk with his mustache moving. It's so cartoony. I love it.
As I said, it's the benefit of this game. It's got this cartoon anime aesthetic.
How do you feel about, speaking of games and their styles changing, how do you feel about the recent remaster that got announced of a very old game, Last of Us Part 2?
Oh yeah, the fifth game in this series of 2 games.
I for one, am very excited for the slightly darker visuals.
It's okay, I'm excited to not play it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking play it. This is a gag.
In this next period, you'll
It
find
is
that most of the
incredibly,
food is covered
like-
with water.
I
Water
like,
that will be
especially
very useful
at a
in
time
catching
when like,
insects. There are
hey,
lots of
you've had this
dangerous
TV
creatures
show
within
that
the surface.
inexplicably people
Be
like
careful.
because I guess they've never seen a zombie thing ever.
Feels like
Like,
that
why are
was
you
the
not
last
making
one.
new content for them to mine? Why are we
Because
just
Druckmann's a
remaking it?
hack.
Why are we remastering a game that that people who are gonna play it have already played
And can play on the current hardware, like...
Yeah. Like, I thought The Last of Us 1 remaster, remake, whatever, or both of
ridiculous.
them. Well, I at least understood, okay, remaster, make it playable on modern systems.
Oh yeah, the remaster
fine.
made sense. The
But, like,
remake,
the remake, fuck off.
that didn't make sense. It's like, you could still run this shit on this hardware. Why are we doing this?
So, yeah, now we're, as I said, the 5th game in this series of 2 games.
It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, and it really shows just either Sony or Naughty Dog how little how little creativity they have in their fucking thing. But then again,
I
they
thought-
stopped making Ape Escape, so of course they're not creative. They don't make Ape Escape.
I put it more on Naughty Dog than Sony in this case.
Honestly,
Because, like,
probably.
other studios under Sony haven't, like...
Remember,
Like-
Druckmann chased away their lead writer.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, yeah, we've had Spider-Man PS4 remastered, but like with like every other company under like the Sony sort of umbrella, but also kind of not really. It's complicated. Have just like mostly done their own things. Like, you know, you still get Ratchet and Clanks that aren't just remasters.
Well, Ratchet and Clank is Insomniac,
Yeah,
so that, but
But
so
there's,
yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
the second party.
Saying before. I still.
And I can't imagine a studio like Naughty Dog that has nothing but hits under its belt for like the last 20 years, 30 years, wouldn't just be given a blank check to just say, yeah, make whatever the fuck you want. Especially since bearing in mind Sony is also the same company that was like, yeah, Kojima, we literally don't care what you do, just put your name on it.
True.
Here, have all the money in the world.
Yeah, they gave him just a bucket of cash and just said, make it whatever you want.
We don't care, just put your name on it.
Because it'll sell with your name.
And so that's why I definitely say
And
this
they're
is
right,
a
Death
Naughty
Stranding
Dog.
sold. I don't care for Death Stranding, but it fucking sold.
Yeah, but that's why I say this is definitely a Naughty Dog decision, not a Sony decision.
But yeah, basically, I think it is just a case of Druckmann has gotten rid of probably all the people that had any kind of creativity, and it's just left with the dregs, or he doesn't allow them to do things as he overworks his fucking animators.
Probably. I think it's also one of those cases of they clearly don't really have like a strong idea for Last of Us 3 or a strong idea for a different game. So this is like the, well shit, we need to put out something, break the glass on this idea kind of thing.
I think they never planned for the Last of Us 3. They're like, alright, that's the end.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure they planned for a Last of Us 2, but...
No, I don't think so either.
Nah, it wasn't originally planned with that. Druckmann just wanted to make Druckmann stuff. Druckmann was just like, I really want to make this weird fucking story.
Probably would have been for the best if they didn't make Last of Us 2.
Probably. Certainly would have staved off a whole lot of needless stupid bullshit from everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean that on both sides of the fucking fence, to be honest.
Oh,
with you.
yeah, I wasn't like pointing at one side in particular. Everyone was fucking dumb in that in those
Yeah,
arguments.
I just wanted to be very clear.
But I don't know, because it's like I don't want them to go back to any of their old properties, other old properties.
Not
either.
the current Naughty Dog. I don't think the current Naughty Dog would really.
But also, I'm kind of just sick of Uncharted. I was fine with Uncharted ending on 3. I thought, okay, well, I think 3 is a step down from 2. But, like, this is a good time to end. So I kind of just fucking hated Uncharted 4 a lot of the time. And then they made, like, a spin-off that I never played. And I definitely don't want them to touch Jak and Daxter outside of just, you know, maybe a remaster.
A remaster of the first game would make me happy, because I didn't really care for the other ones, so I didn't really like it when it went edgy.
And they don't own Crash Bandicoot anymore, like, so...
Yeah, Microsoft owns that shit.
So I can't wait for Crash Bandicoot to never have a game ever again.
Yep. To be fair, they weren't either with Activision by itself. Hey, do you want to know what game the devs that were working on Tony Hawk 3 and 4 were thrown onto?
Call of Duty.
What was it?
Was it COD?
No. I'll give you one more guess. I will say the game is bad and didn't do well.
That narrows it down.
Alright, I'll just tell you, it's Diablo 4.
Oh. I mean, you say it didn't do well. Did Diablo 4, like, actually make billions of dollars, so...
No.
Oh. Well, I'm thinking of Infinite.
Probably.
But yeah, I mean, I think Last of Us 2 is just I mean, I've never played it, but I just think remake it or remastering it or whatever it is they're doing for a game that's not even, like, 5 years old is an insane idea, and it just reeks more of desperation on Naughty Dog's part to have something. And I'm like, man, there used to be a time.
They're just creatively bankrupt.
Pretty much, and I probably feel like I've gone into great depths on some of one of these things about why Uncharted 4 is such a fucking slap in the face.
See, it's hard for me to talk about it because I wasn't really into the Uncharted games, so it would be very disingenuous for me to talk about them.
Well, I really liked it. It's kind of like my relationship with Assassin's Creed, where I played the first one more of and realised, okay, this is more of a glorified tech demo than anything. And then I really loved the second game, and then most of the other entries after that kind of just left varying sour taste in my mouth, except for Assassin's Creed 4. That one's actually good. Like, and I'll fight anyone who says, I mean, no one's gonna fight me because it's like 2 and 4 are like the best, are like the most highly rated Assassin's Creed games. And then after like,
people on this call don't really care about Assassin's Creed, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, I could fight you just out of spite.
Funny.
and then they did the French one, and I was like, man, as someone who's, you know, British and hates the French on principle, this game sucks and it did the French dirty. I don't want to say that shit.
Does it make you ill when you say that?
No, but you know what does make me ill? having to see fucking Ridley Scott say to a bunch of historians and people who knew the know of, like,
you weren't there?
You weren't there.
How do you know?
Fuck off, Ridley Scott. Like, I thought it was ambitious of them to get mad at him though, because he's a senile old man who can't keep track of the movies he made. So, like, why the fuck did they think he would have any opportunity, any chance at, like, keeping track of what actually happened in history with one of the most, like, historically recorded figures in our time, or not our time, but, like, of, like, modern history?
Fair, like, I want to point out, like, even historians who are pretty, like, lenient when it comes to embellishing for the sake of a movie, because you're gonna do that for a movie, but it kind of says something when even people who are lenient on that are like, okay, hold on, what the fuck is this?
He should have fully leaned into it. He should have had, like fucking the movie. He should have
be
the
like
movie
Abraham
end.
Lincoln, Vampire Hunter.
No, but he should have the movie end with, like, 8-foot-tall, muscle-bound fucking Wellington at Waterloo just punch Napoleon's head off.
That would be funny.
Like, at least just go into that. Go like that. Meanwhile, ABBA, you literally have, like, fucking ABBA in the background singing the song. Like, yeah, that if he went, like, that insane levels of over-the-top bullshit.
Oh yeah, everyone would just be like, this is fucking great, this is funny, I love it.
But no, it's Ridley Scott. He's gonna do his stupid, weird bullshit, and then he's gonna get mad because he's a senile old man who hasn't made a good movie in fucking decades. And no, I am never gonna forgive him for Prometheus or for Alien Covenant. Never. Never once. No, he is, as I said, he clearly has, like, become senile, especially if you, like, ever read any interviews with him. He, like, forms a sentence almost as well as Joe Biden. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty bad. Kind of like how whenever James Cameron pops his fucking head up to start talking shit, and I'm like, go away, you. No one likes you anymore. You're my second least favorite Cameron. You're even good enough to be my least favorite.
Who's your least favorite?
Lord Pigfucker himself.
Well, I mean, yeah, how do you compete with that?
Yeah, how do you compete with a man who fucked a pig's head?
True!
And also destroyed the economy.
Like, come on, like, he's just he just makes bad movies. You can't compete with that.
Oh, fun facts. You know how it's the COP28 big environmental thing going?
The what?
You know, COP28, you know, big environmental meeting we're all having so we can talk about the things we're definitely not going to be doing for the environment.
I don't pay attention to that because I know they're not going to fucking do shit.
Yeah, but we're sending like 5 delegates all with their own, or 5 different people who all have their own private jets to it.
Of course we are.
I fucking love this world. We deserve to...
Fucking...
I mean, when you start off your thing saying...
economy, you fuckers!
I mean, when you start off your thing saying, man, yeah, 2023 was the hottest on record, or hottest year on record, and then you've like just had thousands of people all fly into the UAE to discuss this, and you're like, man, I do wonder why that is. Anyway.
Oh no!
Maybe we deserve that colony drop.
Dan from earlier when we were talking about that says, if we just keep re-releasing The Last of Us, it'll be eligible to win all award shows every year. Naughty Dog, probably.
Yeah, I mean, that might genuinely be... That is a good point. That might genuinely be, like, the plan.
I will die laughing. Sorry to derail for a second, but I will die laughing if, like, you know, when the remaster comes out next year, is if it's just all over the awards, I will literally just sit here cackling.
I mean, it depends what else comes out next year.
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
It doesn't matter what comes out.
No, there might be something else that comes out that's like way more of an actual like darling.
What else is coming out next year?
I don't know yet. It's not happened yet.
Other than Princess Peach.
Oh yeah, true. What if Princess Peach get the game sweeps?
I mean, I'd be okay with that.
You know what? I would be too. Why not?
Fuck it. Peach sweep.
If only we could vote. Oh yeah, Like a Dragon. But Like a Dragon is Japanese, so that shit ain't happening.
Oh yeah. It's filthy slurs that they were definitely saying.
Oh, would you mean definitely say? You know the fucking X-Play? Did you not hear
Oh
about
no,
those, like...
oh no, I know all about X-Play. I was there. I watched that shit.
Oh, so someone brought up like a bunch of the out of context stuff, and it's like,
oh yeah, we talked about that.
Holy shit.
What's really fucking funny too is so Adam Sessler went like full like, you know, extreme left, and when people dangled it in front of his face, he basically just doubled down on it rather than just being like either saying nothing or being like, oh, it was a different time, I'm sorry for this.
You did great.
Sorry, you played in your review of the game, you basically said it's a good thing we nuked you.
Hey Adam, here's you literally in yellowface in Japan.
It is. I mean, yeah, aside from obviously Adam Sessler being a piece of shit.
Yeah, they're really getting anti-Japan these days.
Oh yeah,
Industry.
Basically, since like
because
the
to be blunt, it's because like a lot of like the Japanese games are coming out, people are just kind of liking more.
Yeah, and they're like, "How dare you?" There was somebody who's like, "We should ban all anime because it's pedophilia. We should go to Japan and force them to stop making anime and conform to our standards."
You know what's funny? So the age of consent now in Japan is 17, and I got to be the guy when it's like, oh, okay, cool. Well, one day they'll be 18 like us. I'm like, I hate to tell you this. Most states are like 16, 17. I'm not saying I'm okay with that. I'm just stating what it is.
But also, like, aside from all of that, like, I think the real thing that happened was the 360 became a success, and pushed, and basically, because before then, like, if you think, like, the PS, like, the sort of, the PS1, PS2 era.
By the way.
Ah, nice. But, like, the PS1, PS2 era is predominantly dominated by, like, standout games or standout titles from, like, 87, or, like, you know, the 80s until, like, mid-2000s are, like, Japanese titles. Like, Japan and Japanese developers have a stranglehold on, like, games.
A lot of, like, especially early, like, non-PC Western developed games on consoles were pretty jank.
And it's only when you get into stuff like,
Not to say there weren't good stuff, there were. But, like, so, like, for example, I love Jurassic Park for the Genesis, but, like, I'd be lying to your face if I said it wasn't jank compared to, like Gunstar Heroes or something else that's similar.
But, yeah, you've got things like that, but then, like, as I said, a lot of just huge standout titles are predominantly Japanese-made. You obviously have, like, lots of good Western stuff in between, but, like, they did have a pretty strong dominance on the market in that sense. But after, like, mega hits like the GTA series on, like the GTA trilogy, like the 3 Vice City and San Andreas, plus like with Microsoft entering the game and pushing for other like Western developers to.
Well, the PS2 era was when they were going in general for the frat boy audience, which is kind of odd. And that's actually where X-Play is from.
Well, I would say sort of, but I think 360 is the thing that actually pushed it over the edge.
It was 360 and the fact that the PS3 kind of floundered because it was hard to program for.
Yeah.
So
and it was also extremely expensive at the time.
Yeah.
And it came out like a year later.
Like I had one. I like the PS3. I mean, hell, this is what I'm playing it off of right now. But like I was one of the people that bought like the pretty early on, like at $600 the 600. Like I saved up a ton of money to get the 60 gigabyte one. I think it was like $500 or $600 at the time.
$599 US,
So yeah, like
$599
that's like
US.
600, and I saved up for a while to get it too. So like,
But
yeah, it's
so once you have like Western developers starting to get a foothold, then you have the really unfortunate things like, yes, you've got things like
that was
X,
also when like
you've
the open world games were starting to get really popular. Like people are starting
more
to get tired
important-
of them now, which is honestly good because I think most of them suck. Not all.
But more importantly, so this is the time period where X-Play and things like that really start to take off, and it's kind of like in the old days of, oh, this is animated, therefore it's for children. So because you had lots of Japanese games that were still or were aiming from their particular style of weird and wacky or colourful and
Well,
etc.
weird for us. It's just, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but going for that more Japanese game feel, then it opens up to, well, it has to become a battle between us and them.
Which also is what birthed like the shit where it kind of birthed how Square is today, where Square is kind of like so like terrified to make a Japanese style game.
I don't think they are. I just think they're more terrified of putting money into making those kind of games because they do produce those kind of games. They're just
Well, they actively try to
never
sabotage
produced-
those games when they produce them.
Yeah, that's my point.
Because
They're just
internally there's politics going on, and they're trying to wrestle to make more of like how Final Fantasy, just, in my opinion, has had an identity crisis with the PS3 because of shit like that. Because they took
But,
like people like reaction to like those reviews, like how they would treat JRPGs. They took that shit to heart.
I mean, I think one of the most fucked things is probably, what's his name? Something Fish. I can't remember his first
Bill
name.
Fish,
Yeah, the guy who made Fez.
which is a game I refuse to play because of what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, and like when he was in that, like, doing a Q&A, and it wasn't even just like some rando, because it was like at a developers conference.
And at the time, by the way, like Fez was becoming an indie darling at the time. People don't remember it now, because honestly the game is fairly fucking middling. And I said that at the goddamn time. Anyway, continue.
I mean, do you know why it became popular? Because Fish was friends with a whole fuckload of journalists before he released the game.
That makes sense.
The game had already been like hyped up and super talked up by journalists long before it actually released and even been played.
Like at least raid's a game, even if the creator if it gets mad if you play the game and it's like being like, ah, this is fun, I'm jumping, which I think is really funny.
So yeah, Phil Fish was at a Q&A at a dev conference, I think it was, and a developer asked him, like, you know, your game's clearly influenced by like Japanese platformers.
Literally the
What do
sprites
you
of the
think?
main characters are just stolen from fucking Cave Story.
What are your thoughts about like the Japanese game industry as a whole? And he goes off with this borderline racist tirade.
Like the only thing he didn't do was start like saying slurs that I refuse to do even for the bit.
He might have started.
He
might
probably
have said
does
that.
in private, let's be honest.
You know the fucked thing? The guy who he asked him the question was like, "Thank you for your answering my question." Sat down. I'm like, man, if I was that guy, I'd run up on stage and I'd like fucking tombstone pile drive Phil Fish, and I'd get a standing ovation for doing
I'd
it.
be like, oh,
'cause-
so what you're saying is that you're racist. Understood.
yeah, because it is, as I said, it's just a lot like the X-Play thing, where it's like, oh, you know me, I'm always up for an off-color joke.
It kind of makes you think of like
But it's all about but it's about intent, and
Oh,
it
yeah,
definitely
yeah, like when they
comes
do
off
like
with a lot more vitriol and
when
nastiness.
It kind of makes me think of like when they would make comments about like fucking I remember they were commenting on King of Fighters and being like, yeah, it's designed by like lonely pervert devs, male devs, and it's like the lead artist for the game that they were talking about specifically is a gay man, and the producer was a woman.
I mean, it's one of those things that's rich to say because they'll also prop up things like DMC Devil May Cry, which also has like even more.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it before. How like it's way like it is actually sexist.
Yeah, and it's just but the only
Well, pretending it's not.
The only difference is the race of the developers who made it. So yeah, there was very clear like bias, if not outright.
I mean,
I would say outright racism against Japanese titles.
and they slowly put a mask on as time went on, and then like the last like couple of years, the mask went right back the fuck on.
Because you know what I think is the funniest thing? Persona. Because everyone loves Persona, and Persona is as Japanese game as it can be. Like if you like if you there is a trope you would associate with Japanese video games.
Oh, yeah, it's
it is in
incredibly
Persona.
Japanese. Down to
It
like
is
the
in
characters
Persona
even in the
5.
dub, even down to the characters in the dub, like saying Chan in the dub, which is or Chan in the dub, which is still sounds weird to my ear. Hearing like
Yeah, I don't agree with it.
like hearing a Western
I bet
voice.
you know why they did it.
Go ahead.
Because the fans complained.
No, because when they localized the first Persona game, they did everything they could to remove anything remotely Japanese from it,
Yeah.
and they got a lot of backlash for it. So when they did 3, they were like, we're not taking out the Jap. In fact, we're gonna make it so Japanese, we're gonna keep you the honorifics. Look, see, we're not racist. And then it just kind of became a trope of the series for them to do that.
But that's
I mean,
my
I'm not
point.
against it. It just sounds a little weird. I'm not saying like stop doing it. It's just like, you know, it's that thing where I kind of like tilt my head a little bit when I hear it in English. It's different like if I'm watching it in Japanese and I hear it because it's a different language. And it's hard to explain.
Well, I think the problem is that when you're doing a localization, you always have to take into account like there's a different culture and a different way of expressing oneself, especially if you compare like the English and the Japanese languages, which have vast differences in terms of how they are presented. And I think there are a lot of ways you can adjust or you can do like the honorifics in a way that is more that is more to what like a typical Western audience might expect from interactions, because it is a little jarring. I
think they wanted to cancel out the people like Say was saying, cancel out the people that would whine, because like I actually saw somebody whine over like, you know how a lot of localization they'll look at like an Osakan dialect and be like, all right, let's make it like Southern, or like a New York or Brooklyn sort of thing.
Yeah, and give them a funny a goofy English accent.
Yeah, like something that sounds like either a little more frank or gruff, too, because that's what like the Kansai dialect is compared to like the I don't remember the dialect's called, like the regular one, the quote unquote regular.
I mean, it's just the Tokyo accent.
Yeah, like so like the Tokyo accent, and it makes sense of choice. Well, like I heard someone complain about it, like they shouldn't do that. It's like, but then
What
the
should
joke,
they do then?
how like actually it was funny. Someone said like, well, what should they do? They got no response.
Because it's like, yeah, because how do you can't just make up an accent.
Yeah, there's no way to do it.
If the joke is a character has a particular way of speaking and it's like designed around region, it's like, yeah, your only option is to basically highlight a regional accent that
like literally you can like the character Osaka from Azumanga Daioh literally doesn't work unless you make her have some kind of like accent from a region. Literally the character doesn't work otherwise.
But my point is go circle back to my main point, which is that it is hilarious looking at people who go on these borderline racist tirades against like Japanese devs and games.
You know they're saying slurs behind closed doors. You know they're this close to saying something that rhymes with app.
But then Persona 5 somehow gets this free pass, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, but that one's just quirky and weird, and it's like, it's literally no different.
Actually, that reminds me something that's like, God, if you want, after this, I want to make fun of Persona fans being illiterate.
You know what it is? Persona 5 is that I'm not I can't be racist because I have this black friend of video game journalists.
You mean like what Donkey does with Persona 5? Literally what Donkey does? Like, listen,
hey,
I don't hate JRPGs. I love Persona 5.
it's literally that. It's literally you use it to pretend that you're not, like, really biased or, as I would argue, borderline racist with some of the things that people say. And it's fine to not like something, but damn, be honest about it, guys.
Like, there are a lot of genres and stuff that I'm not a fan of, and that's fine. You're not gonna like everything that comes out. You don't have to.
Let's get back to something I enjoy. I always find it funny that people watch, like, Godzilla King of the Monsters, like, yeah, man, this is silly and goofy and weird and dumb, and I don't like it. And then they get to Godzilla vs. Kong, and they're like, man, this is silly, weird, and dumb and goofy, and I love it. Like, the only thing that's changed is they added a stupid poop-throwing monkey. Philistines. I see. You just add a monkey and all you sheep clap.
Yes,
And yet we still can't get Ape Escape.
because monkeys are better than lizards.
And yet we still can't get Ape Escape. What the fuck?
Even you don't believe that.
Maybe I do.
No, you don't. Let me put it this way. You fucking love dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Everyone. How do I know that? Everyone fucking loves dinosaurs. Do you like gorillas? No, you don't. Gorillas suck.
Gorillas are okay. Optimus Prime was pretty cool.
Truck not
He's
monkey.
Here's the exception.
Truck
We're allowed
not
to have
monkey.
one. We're allowed to have our one gorilla character we like.
I like Gorilla Grodd.
I mean,
He's funny. Wait a minute, I like Ultra Humanite. Does he count?
no, because he's not always a gorilla.
not
In fact,
really a
he's
gorilla. He's not
rarely a gorilla now. You could like Giganta, I guess. She was a gorilla. Although, not originally.
Wait, I like Magilla Gorilla.
You like the Grape Ape, though.
Oh no, fuck him. I know what he's
Anybody
done.
remembers who that is.
I know what Grape Ape did.
Barely anybody remembers who McGillen Gorilla is. So, you know.
Well, I mean, even evolutionarily speaking, gorillas, like, always lose to big cats.
And bears.
Everything loses to
That's
stairs.
like Hong Kong food. Nobody remembers him.
What's Hong Kong Furry not?
I mean, I do, but like,
Wait, no, I
remember,
know
like,
why he's not come back.
Yeah. Literally the thing we've been talking about.
How is this
I don't think
racist
I don't think it was meant to be that. I don't think it was like they were like hateful, but you know.
Oh, definitely not. Like Hong Kong Furry, because
They're
at the
probably
end
like,
of the
man,
day,
this
Hong-
stuff is cool, and they just didn't understand what they were doing.
I mean, it might work if you play it just like a joke. Just something he's an idiot who makes you sick of the day. Be like, look at this idiot read a karate book and thinks he's like this ninja master, but he's actually an idiot.
he does save the day though.
Mostly by accident.
Yeah, but it's still saving the day.
His cat does most of the work.
It's
but
basically
it's-
it's the same setup as what was it? It's
Spectre Gadget.
no, well yeah, it's that too, but it was the one where it's the Green Hornet.
Oh.
Sort of.
Well, I mean, the Green Hornet
That's
was
mostly
capable.
in the movie.
It's as if the Green Hornet was capable. It's just that his assistant was Bruce Lee. So his assistant did most of the fighting. Well, he just kind of hung out and shot at people. But I mean, the Green Hornet was intelligent. He did most of the crime work.
Kato just beat the shit out of people.
The muscle.
Yeah, Kato just
most-
beat the shit out of people because it was Bruce Lee, and you're not gonna have Bruce Lee do crazy martial arts stuff.
But also, it was Bruce Lee when he didn't like have a great grasp of English.
So it was a good role for him to play, where he's just the muscle, basically.
Yeah, so it's playing to his strengths at the time.
It's like you don't.
It's
really...
mostly the Seth Rogen movie that tries to recontextualize it as Green Hornet is an incompetent
Oh
jackass.
yeah, you're right.
Everything else, it's like the Green Hornet is a
They're
intelligent,
It's just
intelligent
one
crime
person's
fighter.
one person's the fist fighter, the other one's the brain.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Kato drives the car because
He's
he's a chauffeur. That's what he does.
David, do you ever see the meme image, to go back to Arrow stuff very briefly, do you ever see the meme image before Diggle actually became a vigilante that made people turn him into Black Driver?
I did see that. Yeah.
Justice has a new wheel, man. And I'm like, damn, why does that meme look way better than what he actually became? Poor Diggle.
Discount Judge Dredd.
Oh, yes. Where he had fucking... It looked like it was Magneto's helmet from X-Men 1 and 2.
I hate that my brain went right away to I'm not wearing hockey pants, even though it wasn't Batman. I don't...
Different move, different entirely.
Yeah, exactly.
Different entirely. No, they're just like if you're gonna run around and shoot at guys with me, you have to wear a helmet. So it gets like the stupidest helmet you can possibly find. And then like his superhero name is Spartan because like they need to make up something when there's somebody working with them who doesn't know who they are. They're like, okay, Spartan. And they say, why are you calling me Spartan? Like, well,
Because all the other names were taken.
so all the other names are taken. I can't call you John when you're working with somebody who doesn't know who we are.
I always do love that in Cape shit, whenever you just have like a character who, in no fucking world, would they ever really call themselves that name, unless there was a more popular character, unless there was another character who had the actual name they would have definitely given themselves. Like, no one would ever call themselves Sand Demon, they would call themselves Sandman, but of course Sandman is not owned by DC.
So you gotta be Sand Demon.
So no, even though he's literally Sandman, he's calling himself the Sand Demon.
Mr. Sand Demon. Sam.
Okay, because his daughter is sick.
You know that actually happened in Spider-Man 2, right? The game. Where they're like, oh my god, Sandman, why are you doing this? And it's like, because my daughter is sick or threatened or something. And I'm like, god damn it. I really wish those scientists had have checked just before they Sam mutated the crap out of something.
You have a sick daughter? No. Yeah.
That's Nerfly Big Bird down there. It kind of looks like a guy. Hey, wait, that is a guy down there.
Fly away, bird. There's Sam mutation for you today.
You don't get to be a sad man.
I mean, I've definitely bitched about it on here before, but Sandman is like is the primary thing that's wrong with Spider-Man 3, I think. Not he's the only thing wrong, but I think so much of Spider-Man 3 is ruined by Sandman existing.
Fair enough.
Because it's like, well, okay, so Raimi wanted to do Sandman, and that's why we had Sandman. So it's like, okay, well, we got to find a way to give Sandman some amount of relevance beyond just being a random thug for Pete to beat up, because, hey, guess what? That's all Sandman is, a random
Sandy Man. Dan wrote like Sandy and an M, then like a little
he's a random guy with superpowers for Spider-Man to beat up, because that's what
a
lot of his thing is.
So then it's like, okay, we got to rewrite part of the backstory. So it's like, no, here's the guy who actually killed Uncle Ben. We just never told you.
Whoops.
Because fuck you, I guess. But then because you didn't have to devote all of this time to Sandman to set up his plotline that nobody gives a shit about, and is so half-assed with its whole, no, but he actually killed Uncle Ben, though. Oh, wait, it was an accident, so he's not just irredeemable.
Oh, am I finally getting the Sky Flyer?
A new gadget. Check it out.
Yes!
Yeah, it's like, you're basically trying to use this stupid character. It's basically you're just trying to,
Same shit that Tim Burton's Batman pulled, except 2 movies later.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what Dan just said.
Yeah, I know, I was reading it, funny. And like, to an extent, but the difference is that at least Joker in the Tim Burton Batman movie isn't dragging down 2 other much more interesting villains by taking away screen time. He's the only villain, so he gets to have all the time to him.
No, I think he's talking about the second Tim Burton movie. I think
he's talking about the first one because that's the one where they recontextualize it so Joker killed Bruce's parents. Which I also don't like, but I get why they might have done it, because maybe it was to appease Jack Nicholson's rights things.
I'm pretty sure that they did everything they could to make Jack Nicholson's Joker legally distinct from any other versions of the character, so he couldn't
just claim his character, yeah.
Rights for the Joker forever.
But like, so because Sandman has to share screen time with Venom and New Goblin, and I really don't like New Goblin's look, but like, I fucking think Harry Green Goblin is like one of the best sort of villain arcs in all of Spider-Man's history. So, you know, I love seeing that basically sidelined a lot.
Except for the fact where if his butler had just told him the truth.
Yeah, if his butler...
If Butler told him the truth a year ago, none of it would have happened.
He would have had to take a grenade to the base.
Yeah.
And also, all of that plot relies on him having fucking amnesia for half the movie, which, you know. And then we just shoehorn in Venom, who's my favourite Spider-Man villain, in one of the worst sort of adaptations of... It's not even an adaptation of the story, it's an adaptation of the best adaptation of the Black Suit storyline. And that's still the best adaptation. 90s Spidey is literally the best one. So yeah, Sandman is like arguably one of the big reasons why that movie goes so far off the rails that it killed that franchise and that we had to have reboot after reboot.
And now we're forever stuck in the Spider-Lad saga.
I do have opinions about Tim Burton's Batman movies, but I've kind of just come to the conclusion of, yeah, they're just sort of Tim Burton movies that have Batman stapled to them. And yeah, Joker's whole thing, and yeah, everything Joker does in that movie is like entirely deliberate. It's not like he got pushed into shooting the Waynes, and then so he can have the, you know, I'm really sorry, but my daughter was sick, Batman, and that makes it okay for me to poison Gotham.
Really? Nah, I just made that.
Yeah, no, he did just make that up. You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
Oh, you would.
You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? So take him off. Put him back on, please.
I mean, I still like the Wreck-It Ralph one where he takes the glasses off and
That
puts
might
the
be
glasses.
the best one, yeah. I think the only thing that ruins that is like that he has to then explain the joke. I wish he'd have just got hit with the glasses and then leave it for the audience to chuckle at.
Yeah, I think the X-Men is definitely the best thing on that show.
What's the X-Men one?
Well, no, where they go to the bar, this guy who sounds like Jack Nicholson is like gonna beat up Cyclops because you try to take Wolverine out of the game. You hit a man with glasses, are you? So you just take him, he takes off the glasses, he vaporizes the whole table. He's like, put it back on, please.
Good old Cyclops. Before he became Mutant Hitler or something.
Oh, that was long before he became mutant. That was back in the 90s when he was just like...
He was just kind of a high-strung guy.
He was just the high-strung Boy Scout who was not as well.
Yeah. Like, I don't, like, high-strung, old Cyclops, I think is a good character. He's not my favorite, but I like him. But, like, after that, over time, because... Well, what happened with him was a lot of writers who grew up with it really liked Wolverine and didn't like him, so they just kind of kept writing and working for it.
Yeah, that's ultimately the problem. He's a victim of Wolverine being more popular.
Yeah.
And because he and Wolverine are always established as rivals, as you big up Wolverine, you kind of have to push him. They feel like they have to push him down.
Like, they don't have to, but, you know.
They feel like they have to because, as I said, they're established friendly rivals. And rather than, like, I don't know, grow these characters naturally, comic book writers...
Like a smart way to really get an idea of, like, their dynamic live, but he's not exactly fucking happy about it.
Yeah, you know what, I like to interpret people who get mad about, like, Cyclops as just people who, basically just had to deal with listening to him say, Optic Blast, Optic Blast, Optic Blast, too much in MDC2.
You know, honestly, that's fair. I can understand that completely.
Everyone loves Swiss cheese. Yes, I know that's a free thing, but... Honestly, we're at that point where people might be writing stuff and having grown up with MVC3.
It's true. MVC3 is that old.
You know what? I think I've kind of had a resurgence on MVC3.
I have seen a lot more people playing it again, which is kind of cool. And there's been a lot in the mod community for it. It's insane. They've added so many characters in the game.
Yeah, you know, before the franchise was killed forever.
Yeah, but it's fine because it's back. MVC3 is at Evo. You know what Infinite's not at.
Marvel vs. Capcom wasn't killed; it was murdered.
Yeah, basically. we talked about how Fighters basically killed Infinite.
Fighters in Disney, let's be real. If it
I
was a
think-
good
I
game,
don't-
it still would have been fine. But, you know, Disney. It would have been fine as well.
I don't think there would have been a 5th MVC game, even if it had have done amazing. But I do think that, like, Fighters, basically, like, there's a better way, guys. You were shown a better... People who liked MVC were shown a better way.
They were showing a good
Yeah. You don't have to be held hostage. You can play a different tag team fighting game.
Because, like I said before, the reason why Street Fighter V did well despite being Street Fighter V is the fact that it's still Street Fighter, and there's not really... There are other fighting games, but there's not another Street Fighter.
We'll put it this way, you know, like Dead or Alive, King of Fighters, they could all have, like, big releases that are great, you know, landmark titles for their
They're still not
franchises,
Street Fighter.
but they ain't Street Fighter, though.
They're not Street Fighter, and they're not Tekken.
People
And
know
unfortunately, they're not Mortal Kombat. I have to be real, even though I fucking hate Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, even though Mortal Kombat is the primary example of, like, you don't need to be good to have people buy it to
Style
be,
over substance. That's not what sold that fucking series.
It doesn't have fucking style anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't even have style. It will sell you a fatality for $10, though.
You know what it does have? Fucking shin kicks and projectile spam.
You know what? I might have mentioned this before, but I had this realization of why I don't care for Mortal Kombat character designs, and I realized it's because they all look like jobbers in another series.
Yeah, you said that point last time.
Okay.
But it's still worth making. It's still worth it just to make fun of Mortal Kombat. I fucking love, like, so you look at, like, top level, like, MVC free play and it looks insane. You look at, like, top level Street Fighter 5 play and sometimes it looks insane. You look at top level Fighters play, it looks insane. You look at fucking top level Mortal Kombat or NetherRealms games to play and it looks boring as fuck. Like, I still have fucking PTSD flashbacks to the Injustice days of, like,
All the
projectile
fucking
spam
zoners.
zoning you out halfway across the stage because there's no approach mechanics to deal with that shit.
Yeah. So, like, for example, King of Fighters has Athena, who has projectiles for days. But, like, characters have rolls, some have reflectors, some have moves that literally just punch a projectile out of the air. And, like, a roll is also the easiest one to do. Like, anybody can know how to do that, because you just hit 2 buttons and then you roll.
Well, I guess
And you can also
these are
short, and you can also short hop as well as, like, full jump. So you can, like, short hop over a projectile and kick them in the teeth.
Well, I guess a sort of good, like semi-recent example would be, like, Guilty Gear Strive, where you, like, even if you're, say, playing Soul, which is the most likely character people are going to pick up because he's the main character.
He's on the box, and to be frank, he looks cool.
Yeah, but if you pick up Soul, Soul has, like, his command grab super, like Dragon and Stall. And that will go, and that shit goes through projectiles. So it's like, okay, you've got a character who, yes, you can, like, try and zone him out, but he has a way of breaking through projectiles, so it's not a viable strat.
Even if Ground Viper close the distance real quick on you.
Yeah. And, like, this is the benefit of other games that it's like, because you do want to have multiple archetypes in a fighter that's how you make shit healthy.
Yeah.
You don't want everyone to just be lol rush down, but you also don't want everyone to be lol I'm going to zone you out.
Exactly. And you also want to make
Sometimes
sure
you'll
each
hit-
archetype is viable. And one thing that I will say, as someone who, you know, grapplers will kill them because I'm a rushdown, a good grappler, one thing that a lot of them struggle with is making grapplers viable. Because in a lot of games,
yeah.
grapplers just suck.
Well, yeah, because most of the time grapplers have, are intended to have the weakness of very limited approach options, because once they get you, oh boy, howdy, have they got you.
And then the game's not really built with the idea of a grappler being, you know, competent.
Do you know who's probably one of the funnest grapplers? Hagar in MVC3.
Fair.
Like, he's one of those characters where he looks fun, he plays fun, he has approach options thanks to assist. And also you can cancel, like, pipe into a fucking command grab, so you can have people, like, stuck in a corner blocking because they can see you, swinging that pipe at them, but it's okay because you cancel into the command grab and fuck them up. That's kind of what you want, I think, in a grappler. You want them to have like some abilities to mix up, because a lot of them don't have, you know, traditional mix-up options. So like having moves where you kind of have to be a bit more aware of what they can do off of like a cancelable super or cancelable action into a command grab. But yeah, obviously assists also really help that game, because hey, if you want a turtle, there are assists to help you turtle. You want to power through and get them, there are assists to help you like power through and get them.
Yeah, no, they're just better games, and also they just feel better to play, where NetherRealms games just feel like you're playing underwater. Ow. They just always feel sluggish.
I'm just thinking of like peak Doctor Doom gameplay of like foot diving like 50 times.
Foot dive!
Versus like peak Scorpion gameplay, which is like very slowly for like 1-2 punching combos. I'm sure there's more to it, but like I don't care. Like,
it's okay, they'll reboot the franchise in about like 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, true. We've rebooted the timeline.
I like when I made fun of that. Someone like was like, "Yeah, but the last story was leading up to it. It was leading up to a reboot." I'm like, "Does that make it good? No."
So, but that story came off of a reboot anyway.
Yeah. It's still the second reboot. What do you want? I didn't tell them to make shit stories where they reboot their franchise like every 3 fucking games. What do you want? I didn't do that.
That's the other thing. It's very hard to give a shit about Mortal Kombat because yeah, we'll just be rebooted again.
Like, what's the point? Why should I give a shit?
At least Street Fighter pretends to commit to timelines. I say pretends because we all know Ryu ain't going nowhere.
No, they literally can't get rid of him. They toyed with the idea of getting rid of him before, and it never pans out.
Despite what Luke might want you to think.
It's true. Despite what Poochie wants, and also we have Poochie 2. Poochie 2. We knew he was coming in, but Poochie 2's thing got data mined, so we got to see what he looks like.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Ed.
Not Bison. I mean, he's not Bison, but he's basically evil Luke.
It's Pooch. Even though he came first, which is really funny. There are some people, including Capcom, that try to convince you that no, the design that we made in 5, that was made after the 1 in 6.
Ow.
Yeah! And I actually had people like argue with me about it. Like, no, they're telling the truth. Why would they lie?
Why would they lie?
Why wouldn't they lie? Everyone hates that design.
Why does Todd Howard lie? But he still lies. He just tells lies.
You know what's funny? Because apparently there's been responses to negative reviews on Starfield on Steam by Bethesda, and my friend was reading one of them and was just like, because like one of the responses was like, well, there's nothing on the moon, but the astronauts surely were not bored. And my friend was like, this seems like this is AI generated, and I was like, that's just Todd. And she didn't believe me until I showed her some interviews with Todd Howard. And she's like, okay, I believe you now.
Also, what a fucking ridiculous concept. It's like...
Because I was like, I was just like, it's Todd Howard. It's fucking Todd Howard talking to them.
But it's more like, let's break it down. So his argument was there's nothing on the moon, and yet people like Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin weren't bored. It's like, yeah, because, A, they were risking their fucking lives. Like, you have no idea how close they came to dying on that mission.
Yeah.
How close a lot of those missions came to just outright disaster. Plus, they're like going, actually, you know, boldly going across the final frontier. Like, there is an excitement in that action. There's not an excitement to being sat in front of your fucking computer exploring a barren wasteland when you could be doing literally anything else. Plot how it kind of always reminds me of, I forget if I've ever talked about it, but there was a documentary that was like called When We Were Bullies. Don't you've ever heard of it?
I vaguely heard of this. I vaguely remember, but go ahead.
So basically, it's a documentary about a guy who bullied some kid who, not even just him, but like the whole class bullied this one kid in elementary school, and he decided the smart thing would be to make a documentary about it. And so he contacted basically everyone in the class and got them to recount their stories of tormenting this kid, and traditional like name calling, a whole bunch of them just beating him up, fucking gang tactics, stabbing him with sewing needles was also brought up, I think. So it's just like actual fucking awful, like, torture, and a lot of them are laughing about things they did, from what I remember, or saw.
That was so funny. It'd be really funny if I pushed you down a flight of stairs.
So the main director contacts the victim, and it's like, I don't want you to make this movie. Don't make it. I don't want to be part of this. Just don't do anything. And then his response was he makes the movie anyway, and then there's like, and then because the guy refused to be part of these people who fucking tormented him for no reason.
And they don't even seem to feel any remorse about it either.
Oh no! In fact, the main guy behind it basically tries to say, "Oh yeah, my parents were getting divorced, so that's why I was such a shithead." And it's like, that's not a fucking excuse, you hack. So anyway, when the guy said no, he made this movie anyway, and he said, and I quote, "This movie isn't about you, and that's why we're releasing it anyway." And I'm like, you fucking sociopathic,
you fucking
psychotic
narcissist.
It's not even that; it's actual sociopathy.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of one of those things where this is a guy who's clearly never actually grew out of being an arsehole as a child.
He peaked in high school, and he's trying to relive his assholery from when he was 15.
No, it's worse than that. It's trying to effectively sell his redemption story so everyone feels good for him because
Even though he never redeemed himself.
You're coming to terms with being a piece of shit to a guy, but he's not. There's no redemption. He's still just
you're just a
he's just a vile narcissistic bully with, as I said, sociopathic tendencies, and he's still like that. And anyway, he got nominated for an Academy Award for this.
Of course he did.
Which, as I said, regardless of anything else, it's just when the actual victim of your what you admit is bullying says don't do it, and then you still do it, and then you're like, well, and basically your response to him saying no is fuck you. I'm the most important person here. We need to tell my story of me being a piece of shit. Because I'm sorry.
My story.
Because I'm sorry. People how many fucking marriages in America in the last 30 years have ended in divorce?
I don't know.
I've been waiting for this
A lot.
for a long time.
I don't know a number though.
You and me.
But
Follow me.
I'm sorry, that's not justification ever for treating someone who has nothing to do with your own living situation like a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, no, being a
And
piece of shit in
certainly-
general is not justified in any circumstance.
And certainly when you're an adult, then trying to effectively relive it, it's yeah, I don't know, I'm not gonna wish anything horrible happens to you, but if you did have a sledgehammer hit your spine and you got crippled forever, I'm not gonna be sad. I'm gonna be well, karma is a bitch, ain't it? Oh no, it just grinds my gears whenever people are actual psychotic sociopaths, and then they have the audacity to try and pretend that they're not pieces of shit. At least be honest. At least come out and just say, yeah, I'm a piece of shit and I want to make other people feel bad. That's how I get off. So at least I could go, well, you're honest. You're still a disgusting subhuman piece of filth, but you're an honest, disgusting subhuman piece of filth. But no. Anyway. People, I don't know, I have opinions about bullies. And most of them are pretty negative. I'd say all my opinions of bullies are basically, fuck you.
I'm not gonna bother trying to succeed in this, because I don't really care about the races. I'm not going for Spectre coins, so who cares?
We're not gonna do apes in space.
You don't need to do apes in space. You'll be
Pretty good.
races,
But
don't
it's
you?
not over yet.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's tied to Spectre coins to get like the mini games.
Yeah, I don't care about the mini games. I don't really feel like unlocking them. That's fine.
But yeah, I don't know. Hot take: bullies are pieces of shit.
Oh.
And also,
That's
don't
spicy.
buy. Also, don't buy that crap people try and tell you about. Oh well, the bullies are like people who come
Oh,
from a piece
boys
of
will be boys.
That shit does happen, but the vast majority of bullies are actually come from pretty good households.
Oh yeah,
because that's
a lot of them have fucking money.
Well, it's not even that. It's precisely because they come from positive households that gives them the confidence to feel like they're better than others, and that gives them the justification in their own heads about that's why it's okay to bully people. I don't know, if you're a kid listening and you're being bullied and people say just ignore it or whatever, fuck that. Drop that kid through a table. Like, not to go full untouchable. Like, people will always tell you, oh, turn the other cheek. Yeah, no, at a certain point don't, because they won't learn.
That doesn't work. Turning the other cheek or ignoring does not work. They just continue.
I don't want to promote violence, but like, if you're in a situation where teachers absolutely refuse to do anything, and that is most people, then I say absolutely, like, you escalate. People started bullying me, and it didn't last too long after I threw a fucking chair at them. I think I've told this story here.
Yeah, you have.
But like, yeah, some kids in class used to throw like pens. It would literally
By
be
the way,
like,
I lied and decided to race Jake.
but it'd literally be like my desk would have like 1,000,000 pens all around it, and I would show the teacher. The teacher could physically see the pens, and the pens would hit other like people there. I would even hit like other teachers or teaching assistants. And eventually, I was like, yeah, I got so sick of it, I just threw a fucking chair back at them.
I'll go up against you anytime.
And it's like, and then they're like, well, how could you do that? Why would you do that, Trent? It's like, well, you didn't. What was I supposed to do? Like, I'm sorry, if someone like threatens you in one way or another, you're completely justified in my mind to break their nose.
That's kind of a thing in society I just notice in general is like when someone else does some shit and it escalates and you like raise, even if you just raise your voice finally like, why would you do that?
Spike,
It's because you're disturbing. Because you're disturbing the peace, and that's all they care about, the peace. Like, because as long as even if you're getting victimized or bullied or anything else, they don't care.
Just be quiet about it, you cunt.
That's all quiet. That's all silent. They don't care because it's not in your face. Whereas if you take a stand, if you do something, they've got to address it. And they don't want to do that because then they have to admit. Like, that's why other schools say, oh, bullying doesn't happen. Bullshit, it doesn't. Every school has at least one kid who's gonna be a bully.
By the way, also too, as a side when it comes to bullies, the bullies you see in cartoons, like wearing like the punk and greaser stuff, those kids are never actually the bullies. Those kids are usually the ones who will fight a bully.
And if someone like does threaten you physically, yeah, don't like do this whole honor bullshit. You fucking kick him full in the nuts. If it's a guy. Actually, if it's a girl, you kick them there. That's still pretty.
It still hurts.
Pretty painful. Yeah, basically, if someone is threatening you, you just fucking drop them. You hit them right in the nuts, or the crotch, or anywhere like that. You punch them in the throat. You go full on, no, you will not touch me. That is my advice to any kids listening. Don't pull guns, but you do kick the shit out of them. And if they complain, then it's like, they threatened me, I defended myself. I will make it so that kid will never have the ability to have children ever again, because that is fair punishment for trying to put their hands on me, and I don't want that.
Also, it's probably better if they don't have kids.
Yeah. You fucking pop those fuckers like you fucking crack them like nuts, I don't care. And if their parents complained, it's like, well, maybe if they were better parents, maybe if their kid wasn't physically threatening you or your kid. So I'm not saying beat up another kid, or if you're like an adult, don't beat up a child. But if you're a child, you beat the fuck up out of them. You break them.
But yeah, like I said though, like in my experience in school, like the kids that looked like the kid bully characters in shows were usually the ones that would be like, I'm gonna kick the shit out of that bully. At least in my fucking experience.
We don't really. It's hard to say that for us because we have schools. We have uniforms where I am, so everyone dresses.
I only got bullied once, and would quickly end up stop being a thing when I actually turned out to fight him like he told me to.
Did you kick him in the nuts?
Like, I got bullied, but like when I was
I did
younger.
nothing. I did nothing. He left when I actually showed up. He thought I was like gonna not go, and he could just call me a wimp for the rest of the time.
That's actually.
And I said, I'm like, all right, here I am. Let's go. Let's get this over with. Take a swing at me if you must. And he's like, bye. And he left.
Yeah, the ones I had to deal with when I was in school, when I was not in high school, but like younger. High school wasn't as bad for me, at least. Were like yuppie-looking kids.
I mean, some people in my school did really get the shit kicked out of them really bad. Like one guy got his head smashed through a glass window.
Now I never had that level. It was just usually like the typical like stupid bullying stuff.
And like one guy tried to assault the principal and got like cuffed and tackled by like a police officer.
Oh yeah, you don't do that.
So yeah, it was a pretty rough school. It just I got along with enough people for them not to want to beat me up, except this one kid.
I remember this one time where, there was some kid who was trying to be a prick, and it escalated, and they grabbed me and tore my shirt, and those school shirts are expensive. So I hit him and he went down. Like, I hit him full on right in the face. And he went down. I just remember being, like, me with this, like, torn shirt and, like, being dragged in front of, like, everyone. Like, why did you do that? And I'm, like, pointing at my shirt. It's like, he attacked me. I hit him. What do you want from me? So anyway, I'm the one who got in trouble for that, obviously.
Oh yeah.
It's like... But yeah, I mean, schools are terrible at dealing with bullies. That's why there should be, you know, I don't know. It's one of those things of like, on the one hand, you get it, you don't want to promote violence, but then it's like, if you don't have some level of, you need to make them fear you, then arsehole kids will always take advantage. So, I don't know, maybe you should just allow teachers to fucking tombstone bad kids. Granted, I say this having been the victim of bullying from a teacher. Or maybe not bullying, that could be... Oh, my favourite story to tell of a paedophile teacher.
This isn't a joke, by the way. This isn't a bit.
Oh no, this actually happened.
This is for the audience. This isn't a bit.
Yeah, I forget if I've told this on recording, but yeah.
On recording, I don't remember. Definitely not on stream because we've only done 2.
Yeah, so when I was 8, my teacher had a picture of me on his computer, like at school, and he painted it green and he put the words alien underneath, and it was like, I don't know if it was meant to be a joke, but then comes the obvious question of why the fuck do you have an 8-year-old's picture on your computer? And I think the headmaster saw it, and the next day it was gone. So, you know,
I mean, it's fucking bizarre to have.
They were very terrified if my waterboarding mother had found out.
I mean, I guess I'd be afraid. That's like, wait, she'll waterboard her son. What do you think she'll do to us?
Yeah, basically. I'll give my mother credit. She is like... You know how Wolverine is like that guy who is shorter than everyone else, but like everyone fears him? She's basically like the female Wolverine in that regard. She's like tiny, but like she's just got like such an angry energy about her. Which, you know, probably explains like why which, you know, explains the waterboarding.
And the brain.
And the brain damage.
And the brain
No, I can blame my sister for the brain damage, because when I was a baby, she would carry me to my room and would keep hitting my head on the door frame. Coincidentally, that is also... coincidentally, this is also the sister I don't like.
I wonder why!
Long, complicated reasons.
I mean, I don't think you need to go into them when you're like, oh yeah, you know, slam my head in the door frame.
I did like get her back to an extent where one day when I was little, I said, here, we passed the stairs, I said, here, hold this. And it was just a lump of shit.
Jesus.
And to be fair, she grabbed it not knowing what it was, and then immediately like screamed him through it.
I mean, to be fair, that is a fair response being handed literal feces.
Yeah, well.
But I mean, she was sending her head against the door frame, so...
Yeah.
So I,
Thinking about it.
so I can't really say I feel bad.
I definitely don't feel bad. It's like I don't feel bad about pissing in the fountain at my uncle's wedding. Like, oh, so this is like, I was only like 2 or 3 at the time. And it was my uncle's like 3rd wedding. Anyway, it was this big like set to do at a church or whatever. And I was been like left to wander around, sort of, as you do with kids in the 90s.
I mean, yeah, anytime I was at something, I would just wander around when I was
And
watching something
I
like
used to, and where they were having like the dinner, they had like the table had like a behind it was like this view of the garden, and in the garden was this water feature of like, you know, the typical cherub urinating into a fountain. So anyway, my child brain saw that, was like, well, if he can do it, I can do it too. So in full view of like everyone except the bride and groom and people at the front of the table, just start pissing in this fountain.
Alright, I think actually I'm gonna stop here. Not because of this conversation, I swear. But we're basically now at essentially will be the halfway point of this game, because the next level I believe is the Great Wall level. Alright, so then it'd be like the medieval, the present, which will probably be another stream, and then the stream after that would be collecting all the apes.
Nate.
So, thank you anybody who came out for coming out, whether you're lurking or chatting, and I'll see you next week.
Time to leave.
Yeah, it's time to leave. It'll be the same time next week. I'll be streaming next week. Let's see here, I'm trying to see this. Next week, the week after I'll stream. Honestly, yeah, I'll probably stream. I won't take a break because I was looking at when the holiday kicks, and I think nah, it doesn't really overlap this time. So, yeah, I will see you next time with more Ape Escape, and then, yeah.
Same ape time, same ape channel.
Ooh ee ooh ah ah.
That's a witch doctor.
Oh.